So real quick, I'm doing my quick rankings rebut to the NFC East teams and where I think they fall in each category. Basically a rebut to Shango. I'm not gonna. If you're curious about his rankings and where each team falls, 1 through 4, in varying positions, by all means, go check his video out. I'll leave a link in the description. Also, thanks to Cowboy X Factor for getting me off my duff and getting me to do a rebut, and thank you to Kevo for encouraging me to do more NFC East content. I'll leave a link to both their channels in the description below. Actually, more or less Cowboy X Factor's Instagram, because I don't think he has a presence on YouTube like he does on Instagram. So either way, let's get into it. So right now, my QB rankings follow. I have Carson Wentz 1, Dak 2, Eli 3. Reason why I have Eli over Dwayne, because I believe Dwayne will be the day one starter for the Redskins, is because we have a known quantity in Eli, and we don't know Dwayne has yet to throw a pass in the NFL. That's the only reason. And I believe that's a pretty fair reason. Moving on, I have running back. Saquon 1, because I believe he's a better overall running back than Zeke. Now, if you want to flip-flop him, go right ahead, but that's my ranking. So, Saquon 1, Zeke 2. I'm going to have the Redskins 3, because I like the combination of Chris Thompson, Geis, and Peterson over Sanders, Clement, and Jordan Howard. Moving on, I have, going on to tight end, obviously you have Ertz. I'm going to put Reed, the combination of Reed and Vernon Davis over Jarwin and Witten, because Witten is not the same player he once was. He's slower now. He's been out of the league for a year. We don't know our known quantity in Witten. Yes, Witten is a Hall of Famer, but he's not as good as he once was. So that's why I have Reed and Vernon over the Dallas tight ends, and then obviously the Giants being last, because from week to week you don't know what you're going to get. Evan Ingram is either up or down. He's not consistent enough to place higher in the rankings. All these rankings can change at some point. If this video gets views, by all means, I'll do another rankings probably during or after the preseason, and then after the first couple weeks, because obviously things are going to change. Moving on to wide receiver. Cowboy fans are like, oh, we got to be one. No, I'm going to have the Eagles over you, believe it or not. I like Alshon Jeffrey and Deshaun Jackson better than I do Amari Cooper and Randall Cobb, because Randall Cobb gets injured a lot and is not on the field, and I'm not putting Gallup over Deshaun Jackson, because I believe Deshaun Jackson is a better deep threat than Gallup. And Amari Cooper, even though is more talented than Alshon Jeffrey, it's not that far off. So I'm putting the Eagles 1, Cowboys 2, Giants 3, and Redskins 4. Next, we're going on to offensive line. Obviously, we're going to have the Cowboys 1. I'm going to have the Eagles 2, Redskins 3, and the Giants 4. Cowboys probably have the best overall, well, when healthy, the best overall offensive line in all of football. Eagles are no slouch either. Neither are the Redskins. If you want to flip-flop those two, I wouldn't disagree with you. And then the Giants are bottom because, well, we have been for quite some time now. Moving on to defense, I have the Giants in bottom in every category, because even though our secondary has improved, and I think you could easily, if a Giant fan wants to put them even third, I wouldn't argue with you. It's just, right now, we have a bunch of unknown quantities that haven't seen the field, and every other group has more known quantities. So I'm going to put the Eagles 1. Giants fans are probably going to be up in an uproar. I'm going to put Cowboys 2. I like the Eagles safeties better than yours, and that's the reasoning for it. Their corners, are hit or miss, but again, I like it better. I'm going to have the Redskins 3 and the Giants 4. Moving on to linebackers, obviously Dallas is going to be 1. I could either put the Redskins or the Eagles there. I'm just going to give the Eagles a notch because of Zach Brown. Both teams are not really known quantities for me at linebacker, so Redskins 3 and the Giants 4. And then moving on to defensive line, I'm going to have the Redskins 1 because the potential there is so high. They have a lot of young guys on that defensive line that are very good. Then I'm going to go Eagles 2 because I like their tackles better than I like the Cowboy tackles. And the pass rush, is both teams have great pass rushers. The Eagles and Cowboys both have great pass rushers. I just give it a nod to the Eagles because I hold interior higher than I do outside pass rush. Not to take anything away from DeMarcus Lawrence. Obviously, he's a top 5 pass rusher in the league. Cowboys 3 and the Giants 4. And what I will say about the Cowboys, each and every one of these teams in the NFC East, that means the Eagles, the Redskins, and the Cowboys, I believe all have top 10 defensive lines in all football. So it's not to give you guys a knock. Like, if your team's third, you're still very good in the overall scheme of things. But that's just my rankings. You guys can agree, disagree. Let me know in the comment section below. This has been One Giant Rebuttal. Please like and subscribe. And go Big Blue.